want to sing higher with power, but you're not really sure how to get there, odds are you're probably just using the wrong muscles. Yes, it takes muscles. Strap in. We're going to get a workout on. And by the end of this video, you're going to be singing higher with power, faster than you can say Milienko Matievich. Yes, that's a singer from Steelheart. And we're going to listen to She's Gone, the isolated vocal track. And we're going to try and figure out how he's getting such power. And he's all the way up to G5 in this. So that's a pretty high note. So we're gonna do what we can do to get up there. But we're going to talk about how to get there as we go. So let's dive into this now.
She's gone out of my life.
So listen to how clean and light but crisp at the same time that is. So
I was wrong.
I was wrong. So he's not singing like completely like falsetto, like not engaged. I was wrong. That's a very disengaged sort of setup. I was wrong. So you can hear that vocal fold deduction. I was wrong. So, I mean, I know this isn't particularly super high, but the way to get there is to start off light. And when I was talking about muscles in the beginning, I'm talking about the cricothyroid muscles. So there's two kind of different coordinations, muscle coordinations that involve the phonation, right? So you have the thyroarytenoid muscles on the sides, the ones we use for speaking, that press the vocal folds together, and they also thicken the vocal folds and shorten them. The cricothyroid muscles stretch the vocal folds so you can hit higher notes. So in that particular instance there, sure, it sounds light. We're going to get to the power here in a minute, but that lightness, if you start off with that lightness, it sounds so light, right? But that's the cricothyroid muscle doing all the work, or the muscles. They're both on. They're on the side, but it's stretching the vocal folds. And I'm just laying off those muscles on the side. They're not invited to the party just yet. When we start singing with power, the TA muscles come into play a little bit because they're going to have to hold the vocal folds just a little bit tighter as we put power into that. So there's a balance between the two, but if you're having trouble singing higher, odds are you're relying on those TA muscles on the side to do most of the work. And you really need to just start getting used to that. See, as I was starting to get more volume in that, the TA muscles are kind of getting in the game just a little bit. Not a lot, like just a couple of the guys invited to the party. Not the whole neighborhood, just a couple of them. So as I'm kind of lifting some power into that, I'm starting to feel a bit more feeling in the chest. And that's where the mix, the chest resonance comes into that. So it's not, that's all head boys, it's so light, So I'm kind of like, there's that kind of a feeling in my chest, kind of, I know it's probably weird and just like me making these noises, but that's where I feel that like if you do that, just allow a little bit of phonation to come through first. And you feel that kind of coming in your chest, kind of. If you feel that here when you're doing that, then you know you're doing it right. You feel it's kind of like this pressure in your chest. So if you're doing that, we don't want to cut off the air below the vocal folds. So if I was doing that and it was cut off, it would sound more like, kind of like old man sound. That's subglottal pressure. That's why I was saying phonate before, because we, you can, as long as there's a little bit of that light sound, if you can feel that in your chest, then you're on the right track. But let's move on, because we're not even into the super high bit yet.
I'm to blame. I was so untrue.
So you hear that kind of thing? He's kind of, I was so untrue. That's what they refer to as the cry technique. This kind of, I was so untrue. And when we're doing that, the cry technique is beneficial, and a lot of people don't talk about this, because when you're making that noise, the air is coming through first, and before the vocal folds touch. And to do that, you're allowing this air to come through, and then the vocal folds, they touch just after the airflow is coming. They're just kind of touching on the lightest edge. So it gets you in tune with that. When you do that, it's just the vocal folds are just touching ever so slightly just to make that noise. And then that gets a good piercing sound. So if you try that with me, just go, and if that's too high, just go lower, just, you can hear it's when you do it right, just barely let the vocal folds touch. There's a unique buzz quality that you won't hear if you just go, and you're kind of starting to phonate first. This is what I find with not a lot of my students, but some of my students, they tend to be very TA dominant because they be older males. You know, if you're over the age of 30, you're used to speaking with your TA muscles a lot, you know, in this kind of authoritative voice, and you're walking around talking like this because that, you know, that gets you the promotion or whatever. Yeah, but when you go to sing like this, it's so untrue. It's closed off. So when you're talking like that, the vocal folds are pushed together before you even make sound. That's why this crying works. Okay, so let's move on, because I think you got the picture by now.
I can live without love.
It's more of that crying.
And my life,
So
there's just an empty space.
there's just some empty space. So it's really light in this part.
All my dreams are lost. I'm wasting away.
You hear that kind of, I'm wasting. So let's go back to that, because there's a little bit of some of that chest sound in there.
All my dreams are lost. I'm wasting.
You hear that? He's kind of starting off with a sort of a hard onset. That's typically with chest voice. You hear that? I'm waiting, but he's backing off as he's moving up into that higher part.
Forgive me, girl.
Oh, we got to go back to the beginning of that, because like I never really heard that distortion, but this isolated vocals, this little distortion bit at the beginning.
I'm wasting away.
Hear him kind of flip there, away, like an intentional flip.
Forgive
me. Is it like kind of? He's still keeping it light. Forgive like I'm not trying to close up as I'm singing that. Forgive me. You can hear it, like there's a lot of strain when I'm doing that. Like it's not even, it doesn't even sound near as good as when it's open. So there's this flow. Forgive me. That flow first to allow the vocal folds to buzz is so key. Oh, okay. Let's go back to that beginning of that part, right? So where the climb up is so cool. There's a little weird part there where it's, I'm not sure if it continues there or if there's a little bit of a sort of, he kind of shifts gears a little bit there. Yeah, right there. I don't know if he shifts gears there. Yeah, so there's like this, because he starts off with that kind of go. He kind of shifts into, I mean, you could hear there where I did it, I kind of backed off a little bit to make it like it's more in the kind of, you know, a thinner sort of head voice sort of sound. Head voice. It's not, he's not carrying so much of that weight up there.
Forgive me, girl.
Girl! Let's hear that. And so the way for me to get up there, I really need to lean into this stretching of the vocal folds, which happens when you tilt the cricothyroid or tilt the larynx with the cricothyroid muscles. Okay, so the way that it kind of, if I'm going like this, that's me. I'm consciously tilting my larynx. This is kind of, it's a weird thing when you do it. You can feel like it's almost like when I try to kind of inhale my larynx, as silly as that sounds, like this down here. Then that you hear that sound there in my voice. That's when I'm tilting. If you're trying to hit a high note and you're blasting a bunch of air through there, the vocal folds can't stay together as easy if you don't have a lot of air through there. So I'm going to try and do it with a lot less air. I'm really trying to feel like I'm inhaling that note rather than blowing out air trying to get up there. You know, it's a weird thing when you can really get yourself to back off the air to where there's very little air. Kind of the funny thing there that I did just there, which also can help, is constricting up there. Like, you hear I'm going to go, like I can get up higher because I'm constricting a little bit above, well, not a little bit above, a lot above the vocal folds. Like kind of right back here, back straight, like right at the back of my mouth. I'm constricting there. And what's happening is I'm blasting more air up, but because I'm constricted up there, it's not allowing that air to blast through. So it's creating this balance of pressure above and below the vocal folds. so I can even get higher. Oh. So in order to get power into that, we have to start light. So if we'll go to the chorus now, and we'll work with that because it's not as high as, I think that's a G5 there, but here.
Won't you save me? My heart belongs to you.
We'll just take that. My heart belongs to you. But what we're going to do is just start light with that, right? Okay, so I was kind of singing it at, full power, but we have to start light. So you'll get to that. I'm going to take you through step by step as we do this. Just really light. My heart belongs to you. My heart belongs to you. Try to think of that tilting of the larynx. This kind of, if I go, that's tilting my larynx. Because it's this, It also helps to open the throat. My heart belongs to you. The only place to start is that light. My heart belongs to you. Try to think of this. You're kind of gasping the air in as you're singing. My heart belongs to you. My heart belongs to. So what we did earlier, we're going to try to start to feel this in here, in the chest. Kind of like we're going, So let's just take that note on heart, right? Just feel like this. You want to start feeling this pressure here in the chest. Almost like, I think about this sometimes when it's like this visual in my head. Sometimes these visuals help. It's like you're like jumping up on top of a Pilates ball and you're like just resting on that. Then this feels like that pressure that's in there. Belongs to you. Try to start to get that feeling through the whole thing. My heart belongs to you. Remember the tilt. Heart belongs to you. See, as you take that light approach, and feeling more into that compression in the chest as you do that. But it's key to start the note first to allow that air to move through and vibrate the vocal folds. And that you'll find that adding compression to that after the vocal folds are vibrating, after the notes buzzing, you'll have a lot more success. I know I did in my practice with this.
Lady, can you forgive me?
Can you forgive me? Oh, can you forgive me? Let's keep this lightness to it. Can you forgive me? Hey! 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 It's really kind of, there's a lot of support like I'm adding into there now. And support is not just, it's not like pushing. So if you're not sure about how to use your support because you've seen a lot of things about, pushing and using a lot of effort to sing, and that's not getting you results, click the link down below for my free course, Kickstart Your Voice, and you'll learn that and a lot of other things that will help your voice go to the next level. So let's get back to this.
For all I've done to you.
Listen to how light that's starting off. For all I've done to you. Like, that's really light for me. I'm singing it really, really light. I'm not putting power into it. For all I've done to you. All I've done to you. So as I'm growing into that and I'm pushing a little bit more, sometimes you'll see, okay, I'm cracking a little bit here and there. That's just the balance of the pressure. You got to keep that airflow consistent. But all I've done to you. All I've done to you. You. We're trying to kind of keep the airflow at a minimum. I'm really trying to kind of like feel like I'm gasping through that. But all I've done to you. So that minimal flow of air, a steady minimal flow of air will help the vocal folds vibrate, and you can have that nice bright high sound, but with power in it. Let's move on.
Lady, oh
Oh, lady! There's that a little bit of pharyngeal constriction there, which, as I mentioned before, above and below the vocal folds is balanced then that air pressure because he's stopping the air above the vocal folds. Or not stopping it, but reducing it. Okay, so those are really the keys to the kingdom of singing high with power. Just start light, tilt the larynx, and then add a little bit of that compression in there to get that full volume. But it may take you a little while to get there. I know it's not rocket science. It's just a coordination of all the muscles. So it will probably take you some time. And if you put all those things into practice, you'll be singing higher with power in no time. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to join my free course, Kickstart Your Voice, down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Rock your best vocals where your best keeps getting better. Cheers.